Hey you guys, welcome. I'm Lala's Grand. If it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. And for those of you that keep coming back and keep showing me love, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you. So you guys, for today's video, I did go to Ulta. I picked up another shade of her foundation powder. Now, if you saw my last video, I did review her I Am Magic Radiance Foundation. So check out that video because I actually went over all the specs of the powder. And I did pick up the powder in two different shades. I picked up Niger and the other shade that I picked up was Cabo. I used Cabo for my under eye highlight, but Niger was too dark for me to use as a foundation powder. So I did go to Ulta and I went ahead and I got another shade. Now the shade that I actually picked up today is Katsina. So I actually do want to test this foundation powder out today in two different ways. Most people will wear their foundation powder. Well, I don't even want to say most. I feel like it's kind of split from the people that I know. Some people will use their foundation powder just to add foundation onto their face, and that's it. Literally, they'll apply the powder and they're out the door. Then the other set of people I know will actually use highlight, contour, their liquid products, and use the foundation powder as well. So we're gonna try out and test both ways for both y'all out there who wear your foundation powder however you wear it. And yeah, we're gonna see what it's about. Now, she did release this in 20 different shades and it retails for $18. It's so much confusion in regards to what shade is gonna match people. So let me clear some stuff up for y'all. So if you have her original I Am Magic foundation, then if you have it and if you already have a shade that matches you, it's gonna be the same exact shade name for the I Am Radiance foundation. However, Ulta does not carry all of the shades in store. They only carry select shades in store. So for me, my perfect shade was Kenya, but Ulta didn't have Kenya in store. So I would have to order it online from the Juvias Place website. But I went ahead and got another shade instead since I was already at Ulta. The other issue is that the shade names with this does not correspond with the powder. So honestly, the best advice is that you'd probably have to go into Ulta and kind of swatch these shades because it really is hard to match. And the foundation sticks, like some shade names in the foundation sticks don't always exist with the powder. So honestly, it's really just confusing. I really wish that she would have thought that through because it's really confusing for a lot of people. And even if she's only gonna, release just a select number of shades, it would have been nice for the shade names to just correspond with each other so that people won't be confused. But yeah, I really hope that information helps you guys. But yeah, just go to the store, swatch your shades. Now, you guys know I can never go to the store and pick up just one thing. I know I'm trying to get better, but I was walking down the aisle minding my own business, and then I actually saw the little mini super goop sunscreen, and it has SPF of 30. So if you haven't tried this out, I actually really do like this product. And don't be fooled thinking that you don't have to wear sunscreen in the wintertime. Those rays are still shining through, so make sure you protect your skin. And I did pick up the Urban Decay Heavy Metals. It's actually like a glitter eyeliner, but I use it like as an eyeshadow topper, and it is so beautiful in person. If you checked out my New Year's Eve video look, you'll see that I did pick up one of the shades for the first time I tried it out and I loved it. So I picked up another shade and this is in Midnight Cowboy. I don't know if I'll use this today, but if not, I'll probably show you guys this in another video. All right, you guys, so let's get into this foundation powder. But before I start, I have to mention that I literally have a bucket of brushes that I haven't used. Some of these are Fude brushes. I still have not used these brushes, you guys. So I decided that what I'm gonna do is probably for every video, maybe pick out a brush or two. So for this video, I already opened these up, but I'm gonna use the Sonia Kashuk 100 brush, and I'm also gonna use the Chocohodo T2 brush. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. One brush is actually more dense, and then the other one is actually a little bit more just fluffier and looser. So I'm gonna get like a lighter application with this one, and the one that's more dense, I should get more coverage. So we're gonna use one brush on each side of the face. My face is already moisturized. I'm just using my primers that I normally use anytime I'm testing out a new foundation. And I usually like to use the Makeup Revolution mattifying primer in my T-zone, and I like to use their Pore Blur primer in other areas of my face. So I'm gonna be using the Sonia Kashuk 100 brush, and oh wow, okay, so that's how much product I get just from tapping it in. I think I might have like tapped it in like maybe twice, I think. So let's see what kind of coverage we get so far. I will say another issue that I had with this is that these foundation powders don't have any descriptions for the undertones, which I don't like. I really wish that she would have said what undertones are for the powders because undertones matter. And yes, there's different undertones in powders. So I don't know why she didn't give us, just an explanation of which, powder has which undertone. It's not on her website. And it's also not on Ulta's website. So I'm not sure why she did that, especially since this is supposed to be a foundation powder. I do wish that she would have done that though. All right, so far we've got it just on the left side of my face. The right side of my face doesn't have anything. Honestly, I really kind of do like how the powder looks on my face, but I think the undertone is an issue. I almost feel like this undertone is more neutral and my undertone is warm golden. So I feel like I'm looking just really flat, kind of pale a little bit on the left side of my face. But again, this is the best shade that would match me in store. But the undertone is not necessarily working, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna continue. Now on the right side of my face, I am gonna use my Chikuhodo T2 brush. This brush should give us more coverage because it's definitely more dense. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, yeah, so already you can see right there, it's definitely giving more full coverage, and I definitely only tap this in just once and I still have product on the brush. So let's see what this looks like on this side. Okay, so this is how we're looking so far. What do you guys think? Obviously, as far as coverage goes, the side where I applied it with the brush that was more dense, which is the right side, definitely I feel like has more coverage. The left side where I used a brush that was a little bit more fluffy, more airy, it has lighter coverage as expected because I can see parts of my skin poking through. But looking at the shade match, it's really not a match simply because that undertone, I feel like it doesn't necessarily match like my warm golden undertone. I don't match to my neck because of scarring that I've had from eczema, but the rest of my body doesn't necessarily like match my face. I kind of feel like it just looks kind of gray. This powder looks just more neutral. But you know what? This was it for the first way. We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna wash this off and we're gonna come back and we're gonna try it the second way. Okay, round two. So for this round, we're gonna go ahead and apply the highlight, the contour, all of that pizzazz, and then go in with the foundation powder. So I am gonna be using her concealer, and this is in shade number 9. I thought I had one of her foundation sticks to be able to contour, but I don't. So I'm gonna use what I normally do, which is Huda Beauty Tantour, and my face is already moisturized, primed, all that good stuff. And this technique sometimes will intimidate people because they're like, wait, applying concealer and contour first? Who does that? So the key is to actually just make sure that however you have everything, like your highlighter, concealer, just make sure it's set and everything is in place before you go in with that foundation powder. Because for me, if I go in with the foundation powder automatically and then try to blend out all this liquid highlighter and concealer and all this other stuff on top, I just feel like it becomes like a muddy mess. So I always like to just do this before. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably just zoom through this section so you guys can watch me as I do this. I have everything blended where I want it. I do want to take Cabo, and this is the other shade, and I do want to use this to set my under eye. I do have to admit, when I did this in the last video, I really loved how this looked. When you go in with a foundation powder or like a setting powder just to set like your highlight before using a loose powder, I don't know, for me personally, I just love the way it looks. I feel like it does something really nice to my makeup. It looks more seamless, cohesive. You guys already know I love doing this. So I am going to use the House Labs powder today. Juvia's Place does have a loose powder, but I've never tried that powder before. Let me know if you guys have and what you think about it. I don't know. I've just never felt inclined or felt the need to actually try that powder, right? I don't know. I never did. So I'm going to go in with my loose powder next, and then we're going to come back and go into the foundation powder. Okay, yes, I know we're still looking a little crazy, but that's because we didn't actually apply the foundation powder yet. So I am going to apply the foundation powder. I think I'm going to use my Chikuhodo brush, which is the more dense brush, to apply this foundation powder. So I'm curious to see how I'm going to like it now, especially since, oh, let's see how this looks, especially because I was feeling like the undertone was just a little too neutral for my skin. I don't know, you guys, we're gonna have to see how this looks on me because I was really skeptical after I tried it the first way. Okay, this is definitely looking better. And what I'm doing is I'm really just taking the foundation powder and really applying it in the other areas just so that I can nicely balance out this look. Ooh, okay. So what do you guys think? So I have it on the right side of my face. I have the foundation applied. The left side of my face, ooh, okay, it's looking a little crazy, but we're gonna go ahead and apply it. I do think it's balancing out so far. But you know what? For the left side of my face, I actually wanna go back and use the Sonia Kashuk 100 brush to apply it. So let's see what this looks. And please tell me, let me know if you guys are gonna be picking up this foundation powder. Do you guys actually reach for or use foundation powders? I remember when Fenty released their foundation powder, I did try that out and I really did like that foundation powder. But you know what? I don't even really use that Fenty foundation powder like that. My shade in that was 430 in the foundation powder. But I do, however, use that foundation powder to set my under eye highlight, and I use a shade 370 for that, and I absolutely love the way that looks. I'm not really sold on this foundation powder. And I think it's because just a couple of different things, right? We don't know what undertones are to what powders. She didn't really say that. Number two, the shade names are just so confusing for so many people. I really do wish there was more consistency. And then lastly, if you're gonna release shades in Ulta, just release all of the shades. It makes it really confusing to people who are trying to shop and buy your products, and only some shades are released in Ulta, but then the other shades, they have to go online to your website. I feel like if you're gonna launch something, just go full on out and launch it. Like, let the people get what they want. Don't just do a limited like shade selection in the store. It's just a little too confusing. So this is how I'm looking. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face and I'll be back. And this is a finished look. So what do you guys think? I really do like how the overall look came out. By the way, I did use the Coffee Shop Collection palette and I did do a video on it. So if you want, go ahead and check that out. I'll link it above. And I also use the Wildlife 2 palette. So I use a combination of these palettes. You already know, I used one of her lip glosses for my lip. I love how it came out. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so for my final thoughts on this foundation powder. Now I do have to say that I do love the way the powder looks on the skin. I love the finish of this powder. Now, as far as the cons, what I don't like about it is, I guess just a few things. Like in terms of the undertone descriptions, where are the undertone descriptions? I really wish that she would list that for people because people do need to know. That way they can better shade match themselves. The shade names are a little confusing for people. I also don't like how bulky the foundation powder is. And then the last thing I don't like is kind of how her release went in Ulta. My thing is, if you're gonna do a launch, just go ahead and release everything so that the people can go ahead and buy it. I do like this foundation. I don't love it, and I honestly don't know if I'll really gravitate towards this foundation. I'll honestly probably use this foundation more. Oh, and as far as a wear test, I'm not gonna do a super long wear test with this foundation. I will update you guys in the description box below how this foundation wears, and let me know if you guys are gonna be picking up this powder. I really want to know your thoughts, so please comment below. So that is it for today's video. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.